Hello again, everybody. Well, today we're out here by Volkswagen of United States. It's actually the only plant in the United States that Volkswagen's got, and it's just outside of Chattanooga. Actually, technically it's inside Chattanooga, but we won't go there. Anyway, we are at the Enterprise South Nature Park. There's some interesting things that happened out here. This is part of a big property that was known as the VAAP, V-A-A-P, back in the day. What happened out here was they made dynamite for the military. And here we are at the visitor center. Now, just to give you a bird's eye view, yes, we are that close to the Volkswagen manufacturing facility in Chattanooga. And that looks kind of neat. So a little newspaper from the Chattanooga News Free Press. Tuesday, June 3rd, 1941. The TNT job begins in 30 days. So that's when they started making more of it. And what's left now is a whole bunch of bunkers. Well, we're going to check out some of those bunkers today. We're going to do a little bit of driving around too to see what we can see. So let's go have some fun and see what's left and see what they've turned it into. Come on, let's have some fun today. Well, some of the stuff too is they've created a lot of trails, so that's one trail that goes from the parking area. But we're going to drive this way. Oh, decisions, but I think we're going to go this way. Interestingly enough, this is a loop just for cars. So, I don't know, we're gonna see and poke our heads around. This is an interesting mix in this place. Some roads are for cars only, some are for pedestrians only, some are for pedestrians and bikes. So, it's interesting. So evidently, there's so much traffic on this that at certain times during the week, it goes one direction, and at certain times, it goes other directions. Interesting. Well, we're at Gate 1, and something's interesting. The Enterprise South Advanced Trail Atlas is not recommended for beginner users. Sorry, for beginner riders. The gate is a single point of entry and exit, so I guess they just keep it closed at some times, and I don't know. We're still on the Still Hollow Loop. Here's a good sign, so let's see. The entrance to the park was down here. We are right here by Gate 1. So we still have a long way to go. And you can see that between driving, biking, and hiking, that there is a large amount of stuff here. So we are going to head onwards that way. One thing that's interesting to note is they planted a lot of trees in here at one point. I don't know if that was after or during, just to shield, but there are a lot of hills in here, so you can see why they picked this area for the bunkers to protect, because it would kind of redirect explosions, I guess. Whee! Almost like a roller coaster. So just as a sidebar, while they're not on everywhere, they do have bathrooms in here. And since some of this is drivable, it's handicapped accessible, so it's pretty cool. This is Gate 2A. Something about an ammo dump. And the local college, UTC, evidently has a field classroom out here. I guess they keep it locked and just operate it during the springtime or whatever. All the comforts of home, including a porta potty. But we're going to go that way. You know, I imagine some of these trails make a pretty good race course. Something tells me we're going the right direction. Let's go that way. And we've come to the first bunker of the trip. Now, it looks like it's closed. I'm going to check anyway. This appears to be bunker number 22. Kind of up on a hill. Definitely man-made. Explosive limits. So, some of the sign's gone, but some of you demo guys, what does that mean? Let's see if I can't get in here and take a look. Okay, so the door's definitely been bolted too. Interesting little stuff. You've got grounding strips that would have grounded out the place, and yes, you can hear the echo. Oh my goodness. It is a pretty big building. Hello? Deo, Misadeo. Wow, this is pretty impressive. Hopefully we'll find one that has the door open so we can look in here. Well, we're here at bunker number 21. This is a historical exhibit. So up top, I'm guessing that's some kind of ventilation system, or maybe it was designed to channel the explosion if it went off. All of these were designed to, if the explosions happened, to kind of contain it and channel it. Now this one has a gate, and there's the old VAAP. And this one has a similar construction. You can see the dome. Now granted, this is a ways in the past, but this is still pretty impressive. We're at 19. I'm really hoping that they haven't locked all of these. I may have to come back on another journey and see if some of these that are out in the woods aren't locked. Personnel, I'm guessing, personnel limits. Hello? So this one's just like one of the other ones, except for it's empty. And they seem to echo a lot more when they're empty. Well, this is at 18. They appear to all be locked up. Hopefully they've got one of them unlocked. I'm gonna walk around the side of this just to show you that they're more of a dome. They're domed and rounded. And you can see that vent stack up in here. This just gave you an opportunity to, if one of these blew up, it would keep it protected. I imagine these days, there's not a whole lot of dirt still sitting on these, although there's probably enough, at least for the trees. See? Perfectly round. So yeah, it's looking like most of these are locked up, but here's something a little interesting. It's a counterweighted, well, it's sealed shut now, but it's a counterweighted kind of vent, so maybe when the explosives would go off, that would burp the overpressure and keep the facility intact. I don't know. They're just all sprinkled on these hillsides around. Number 27. Well, the last historical one on this little loop, number 28. And yes, they've kept it open. So let's go take a look and see what we can see in here. Personnel limits. So technicians could be aid in something else. So I'm guessing that the lane in here is, wow. I'm guessing that the lane in here is where the storage would have been. Okay, that's pretty epic. So I'm thinking that each one of these hemispheres would have been where they could have stored things. And just to let you see something, I'm wearing a pair of Merrills. Now, I'm going to tap and listen to this. I'm barely tapping on the floor. I'm going to tap a little bit harder. Holy Moses. Hey! Okay, that's pretty epic right there. Well, the dumb question is it lined with metal or is it concrete? Oh, there's a little drainage on the sides too. Okay, this is interesting. If you'll notice, as soon as I get to the edge, the echo's not as bad. Okay, so the wall is concrete. But as you walk out and get more in the middle, when you get in the middle is where the echo really starts. It almost gets deafening, and I have not raised my voice more than before. I'm talking at the same volume, but it's almost deafening in the middle. Okay, this probably is pretty amazing. I think the other parts are actually because it looks like someone's and this area is just this is pretty amazing. Anyway, let's go on to the next slide. Well, after the bunkers, you can kind of see the building down there. That is part of the Volkswagen. And the mountains out in the distance, well, that's Lookout Mountain. So you can see that even before the military did all their stuff out here, this is actually a pretty beautiful place. Anyway, onwards. Let's see what else we can see. Well, out by the viewing platform, you've got something interesting. It's an endangered species site. Restricted activity, the large flowered skullcap. So evidently, this whole little section. I guess all the flags are large flowered skullcap. So one of the more interesting things is they have these little viewing platforms. Now I'm guessing you could get out here and set up very early in the morning, and I guess it's a more modern version of a blind. I'm sure you can see deer and all sorts of critters coming through here. Pretty cool place. And it's got a ramp, so while you'd have to park over there and it's a little rough to get to, it's easier to access. Interesting looking little historical artifact. I don't know, maybe it was running water or up the hill? I don't know. If anybody knows, leave a little answer down there in the comments. We're almost back to the main entrance. This is a little one-lane road, so I'm not entirely sure what that was. Well, we loop back around again. Now we're on Poe Run Road, I think is what it's called. And we found bunker number 1. Bunker number 1 apparently is open too. Now, these all should be the same, but we can still take a look. We can at least see that a little bit more of the personnel limits 19 people. And evidently there was something on the side of this when they were in there originally. Now see? It's the same configuration. You've got a aisleway going down the middle, and looks like they had to waterproof this one a little bit more. There's a little bit more tar around the base. But, yeah, nothing's really changed. These are all probably cast the same way. They could put a lot of explosives in each one of these. 250,000 pounds of 1.1 and 500,000 pounds of 1.3. So let's take another little look around. Coming soon, Rock Creek Bike Rentals. Now this is number 2 on the trip. So evidently this is the trail that some folks were talking about. It's called the Hercules Trail. I'm guessing it's for bikes because it's got little hills, and I guess you can go through it pretty fast, and it definitely looks like a little bit of a BMX training thing. And you've got a larger parking area around here. You've got the trails going that way more, and you can see the trails going up the hill. So I'm guessing this is kind of the heart of the biking area. So that's definitely where the bike core is. You've got an area that probably has about 5 or 10 changing rooms for people changing in and out of their bike clothes. You've got the restrooms, and you've got more parking than elsewhere. So we're gonna keep going this way and see what we can see. And there's bunker number 3. So we're doing another little loop, and this gives you a much better view of that little vent on top that would have helped with moisture and humidity and whatnot. It's way too steep to climb up there with messing around on all those leaves, so this is the closest view you're gonna get. And you got the footprints going across, so I guess you know which way the hikers go. But check this out. So, natural way to create a little bit of break so that the water would slow down. You've got these little steps that go all the way up the hill, so the water's just not screaming down the hill by the time it gets here. That is a cool little feature. Well, guys, that's pretty much it. There are a lot more hiking trails that I did not hit, and there are bike trails that I didn't hit. So if you really want to check this place out and hit it fully, I recommend coming up here. This place is absolutely cool to go to. There's plenty of places around here to check out. So, well, guys, I hope you've enjoyed our little journey today. I'm off to go on some more journeys. So until then, why don't you go on a journey of your own?